What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Tucker Franklin hanging out with BJ Kissel on a special live edition of 21 Questions. It's been a minute and a half since we've done one of these live, and since we've had one of these here on YouTube. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, for joining us here live at the time, and listening to the podcast after the fact, too. We cannot forget the people who listen to the podcast after the fact. Thank you guys for however you consume KC Sports Network. We appreciate it. I am joined, as I mentioned previously, by BJ Kissel. BJ, how you doing?
Doing well, man. It was the last day of school for the kids today, so they had a half day. So yeah, I hope everybody out there is enjoying their Friday afternoon with whatever you got going on. But yeah, kids are out. So officially have a fifth grader in our house now.
Wow.
Crazy.
Next door neighbor here that where we're at, they had a graduation party for their fifth grader. I'd never seen that before, but they had like the big congratulations in the front and everything. Everybody, I think yesterday was the last day of school for them, and they had a bunch of people over. Exciting times, crazy. It's crazy. School's out already. Seems like it just started, truthfully, but that's just kind of how things work, I guess.
Yeah. Like when the fifth graders come out, we always do, like, we have walkers, like we have them walk the last day so we can have them come out to the front of the school. And all the fifth graders come out first, and all the parents make like a little, tunnel for them, and there's bubbles, and it's like half of them are coming out, and like the boys are coming out like cheering, like, let's go, we're in middle school. Yeah. And like you don't want to tell them that now they're the low men on the totem, like they're the sixth grader in like the middle school, like, hey, you were the kings now, and now you're the little one. And then like half of them come out just sobbing because they don't want to leave elementary school, which is completely fine. It just they come out and it's half and half, and then we're wondering like which one's our son going to be next year, and trying to figure out which one he's going to do. But yeah, I saw a comment. CMS, did all the snow days move the last day back for you at all? Actually didn't. Not that I am aware of. I think this was the original last day of school, which is surprising because it felt like we had 17 snow days, and I don't even know if that's a sarcastic number. We had 2 full weeks with snow that were snowed out, so it was definitely what felt like the quickest year so far.
Yeah, that's crazy. There was a ton of snow days. I remember just kind of messing with a little bit of everything the snow days were, but we'll dive into these questions here. We got questions on the KCSN Discord. We'll obviously take your guys' questions live as well. But first one here comes from K Goodell, which is Kendrick Gumminger. They still, a lot of these guys will still have their names from the KCSN mock draft that they did on there. It's a very fun thing that they do. If you want to be a part of the KCSN Discord, all you got to do, kcsn.com, go subscribe for $30 a year, $5 a month. That gets you access to the KCSN Discord as well. So
we'll have news in a couple weeks here about that too.
Yeah, we will.
We're just going to tease a bunch of stuff that we're not actually going to talk about, but we've got news coming. Should have done this episode in like 2 weeks with me. Because we got stuff that we've been working on for a while that we want to announce.
That's true. Sometimes.
All right, you hear neighborhood watch in the background. Don't worry, the neighborhood is taken care of with my golden retriever. If you can hear the barking in the background.
Look, they are very active, and I do appreciate that about them. But Christian asks us, how many teams can realistically win the Super Bowl this year? When you're looking across the NFL landscape, how many do you think can realistically win the Super Bowl, PJ?
Obviously, Eagles.
Right, I think
Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. I would put Bengals, Bills, Lions.
Yeah, 6.
Who are we forgetting?
That was kind of my short list.
Okay. Is it going to surprise me if the Packers come out and they're really, really good, because they're kind of on that border? Houston kind of being on that border,
right?
With one of those teams, but those are the ones that jump out. There's going to be like 8 teams that realistically have a chance.
Yeah,
and then probably another 4 or 5 teams that are probably good enough to beat one good team in a playoff, maybe 2 if somebody doesn't play well. But you got to beat 3 good teams in the playoffs. You got to talked about it before. You can't have a hole in your game, beating 3 different kinds of teams throughout. That's where the depth and the being a complete team matters. So those are probably the ones for me.
Yeah, ripping through it here real quick. The Bills we already mentioned. Dolphins, I don't think. Patriots, I think they'll be better. I don't think that they'll be a realistic team to compete. The Jets, I don't think so either. The Ravens, yes. The The Bengals is interesting because I'm not too high on their defense, obviously. Firing Lou Anarumo and having their defensive coordinator, their defensive personnel, but they still have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Like, those are two guys that you'd be like, well, you
they have pieces on defense. They have pass rush. I mean, Trey Hendrickson's still there. So
as of now, yes.
As of now. Currently, he is on the team.
He's currently still on the team.
And I'm sorry, if you have two elite offensive weapons and a quarterback who can get them the ball, like, no one's going to feel good beating the Bengals. And the other one that we haven't mentioned, I know we'll probably go to the NFC, is Washington.
Yes, that one's an interesting one.
That's the one that would probably be like the borderline team for me. Because you saw last year, but at the same time, how many times have we seen a second-year quarterback take steps back because now you have a year on him? Now you can game plan a little bit. It's different going into the second year because now teams know what you're doing, they know what you're good at, they know where you've struggled, and then being able to combat that coming into the second year. So I wouldn't expect Jaden Daniels to put the same kind of numbers. Maybe a better player because he's having to learn through it. We saw it with Mahomes, but yeah, Washington would be that kind of on the border for me.
Yeah. Right. I think that's a good call too. Nobody else in the North. I don't think the Browns or the Steelers. The West, I think it's really only the Chiefs that are realistic. Nobody out.
Debo. Yeah, I just remembered they got Debo Samuel this offseason, didn't they?
They did get Debo, yeah.
It's pretty solid.
It's gonna be how their defense plays. I think it's gonna be really big for Washington. But yes, they're gonna be a fun one. I believe that game also takes place at Arrowhead as well. So that could be
Andrew Wiley's return. It's a revenge game.
Yeah, they got somebody else on there too, I think.
Is Kendall Fuller still over there? That was a while ago.
No,
they got the other offensive lineman, Allegretti.
There it is. I kept wanting to say Mike Caliendo, but I knew that wasn't right. I was like the other guy who was Mike Caliendo.
Yeah.
I was like the other guy who was Caliendo, that guy. But yeah, nobody out of the South. I think it's the Eagles and the Commanders out of the East. The Cowboys and Giants, still gonna be bad. The Lions, yeah. I don't.
Fuller's Dolphins. Could be right. I know that was a while ago.
Yeah, he was out there for a minute though too. That was another thing because I remember that like when we were doing all of our free agent pods, people were like, "Good Fuller." Yeah, how about it? Nobody out of the NFC South. That's bad. The Niners, they're just re-signing everybody. That's interesting.
They're never going to win. I like Brock Purdy, and I'll never forget the conversation that we had with Brock Purdy at the Combine, at the Shrine Bowl. Just saying like, I'm just here going through the process to get this experience. I'm going to go find some other job. And now he's signed for $53 million a year.
He was fully prepared to become an insurance salesman. Like he was just like, I was just going through the motions here. I
wish we had recorded that. All the things that Casey has said, that one conversation with Brock Purdy would have just been gold. Just a normal dude just being like, hey man, they invite me. Like, why wouldn't I go through this process?
Yeah. It's in Vegas too.
I mean, like this guy. He's a normal guy.
Yeah. Big time for Iowa State too, by the way, with Tyrese Halliburton tearing it up in the NBA finals to Matt Verderam's chagrin over his New York Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
The entertaining bat football show this morning. We Evan and I got to talk about it for a little bit. But then also with Brock Purdy as well, two Iowa State guys kind of cutting it up. And I got to give a shout out to Seamus as well. He was in the chat early. He was listening up to Verderam and I. We power ranked our favorite sodas. And Verderam, I didn't know this about Matty V. Huge root beer guy. Loves root beer.
I didn't know that, but that doesn't surprise for whatever reason. Like, yeah, all right. That's funny. What did you put number one?
I put Baja Blast, and Seamus asked in the chat also what makes people obsess over Baja Blast. There's a certain je ne sais quoi about Baja Blast. It's refreshing at the same time. You know, it's probably also awful for you. It's the nuclear color of it. I don't know what exactly it is about Baja Blast that makes people, but it does have a cult-like following, and I talked about that on the show. Like Baja Blast as a soda has a very huge cult-like following, more than probably maybe Dr. Pepper. I would see as a similar cult-like following. People who like Dr. Pepper really like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I run into those people all the time when I say Mr. Pibb is better than Dr. Pepper. It's my one hot take. You've heard me have this conversation.
They'll be in the chat with Patrick before you know us. Yeah, they'll be in the conversation.
I had a conversation with Patrick about the holiday. He was like, why are you drinking Mr. Pibb? I'm like, because it's a superior soda. The best soda.
Look, I don't agree with that. Do you think you could run through a quick 1 through 5 of your favorite sodas? You power rank them real quick off top of
Mr.
the dome. That's one.
Cherry Coke.
Okay.
Wild cherry Pepsi.
Okay. You like the cherry. That's okay. The pip makes a whole lot of sense now. Okay.
Dr. Pepper. And they probably just like the OG Coke.
That's a solid list.
Thank you.
Verderam put root beer at 1, Mountain Dew at 2 for Verderam. That was that threw me for a loop. Orange Crush at 3, Cherry Coke at 4, and then Diet Coke at 5.
Diet Coke. No.
I had Baja Blast at 1, Dr. Pepper at 2, regular OG Coke at 3, root beer at 4, Fanta at 5 is what I had.
Okay.
Seamus says Lime Coke? I didn't know that was a thing.
Do you remember the clear Pepsi?
Yeah, I remember.
It was a thing for a minute.
Yeah, they brought it back for a hot minute.
Did they?
I tried it. I tried it then because I don't think I was old enough.
It just blew my mind because, like, did they dye it brown, or why was all of a sudden it not like? Somebody in the chat could let us know.
They must have to, right? Like, if they can do it clear, it must have to be dyed brown,
right? Or completely like different, made different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretend
Bones Jackson from the Discord wants to know. He says, "BJ, I'm visiting San Diego. Any recommendations for a hole in the wall restaurant?"
Oh yes, Cass Street Bar and Grill. If it's still there, it's been several years since we've been down there. But you go into the Pacific Beach, or you call it PB for anybody who lives down there. Pacific Beach area. Cass Street begins with a C. It's 3 blocks in from the ocean near Crystal Pier. It's Cass Street Bar and Grill. Order the teriyaki steak sandwich. Best sandwich to this day, still the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. And a little hole in the wall beach bar in the Pacific Beach area of San Diego called Cass Street Bar and Grill. Wow. Amazing. And then go to Bub's at the ballpark down by Petco and Gaslamp and get some tots. That's what they're known for down there too. It's a good time. I
had a feeling that that question that you would have an answer to that question when I saw that come through. Shout out to Bones Jackson. San Diego, beautiful. I wonder if he's going for the Royals are going to be there. Not in, I think, late June. They're going to be down there in San Diego. So
beautiful.
Have a great vacation, Bones.
Yeah.
Okay. We won the draft wants to know, besides Tremors, what movies do you remember seeing 18 times a weekend on TBS as a kid?
Toy Soldiers. I watched that one a lot. And everyone confused it with Small Soldiers. No, I'm talking about the Sean Astin movie, where he's part of a private high school. It's like a prep school that gets taken over by terrorists and they have to fight back. Like, it's awesome. Iron Eagle is another one that didn't make that list that I watched a lot. Anytime you can throw in a montage music and you pick up like 15 minutes on your way to the Middle East to rescue your dad, the stolen fighter jet, you got to do it. Iron Eagle is way up there. Tremors was probably the number one, though. Realize how many times I watched that movie as a kid. It was always on in between Braves games, Cubs games on WGN and TBS. I mean, that was childhood. And Bloodsport, Kickboxer, any Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Double Impact was another one of his. Watched a lot of those.
They play a lot now. Transformers is the one, like the first Shia LaBeouf one is the one that they play that a lot.
You're so young.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's good. Beverly Hills Cop. Watched that a lot when I was a kid with Axel Foley, the original, and Beverly Hills Cop 2 with the Annihilator 7000 or whatever that gun was. Somebody will remember. At the theme park. Yeah, phenomenal movie.
Yeah, I don't see. Here's the other problem is I don't watch TBS all that often.
Well, luckily you had some more options.
Yeah.
You had DVR as a kid. Okay.
Yeah. I'm fine. That is true.
I don't remember how life-changing DVR was. Call waiting.
I remember having it. Like I remember when we got DVR. So I remember life. I remember we used to record Survivor on VHS tapes. My parents would.
You know, this is actually a good time to bring this up because they're going to have to probably go to break here in a few minutes. But it's for anybody out there. If you like tacos, if you like bourbon, if you like golf, we will have the 4th annual Tacos and Bourbon KCSN Foundation Golf Tournament. The dates change. We know we had talked about during the draft briefly at one location. It's not going to be there. It is at a new location that we will announce sometime next week. Haven't signed yet, but it is going to be Monday, August 18th. So if you're listening and you've come to the golf tournament before and you want to come back Monday, August 18th, it will be like a noon shotgun start. It'll be in the middle of the day. It's on a Monday. It'll be the first time we've done it on a Monday. Very, very excited about where we will be going. It's a new course. It's in the Kansas City area, but very excited about it. But save that date, Monday, August 18th. We'll have more information coming out soon. But Tucker, the reason I laughed is the first time that I've heard a busy signal when you call a number for the first time in a while was when I was calling one of the golf courses that we were talking to, and it was ringing busy. And I was just like, man, it's been a while since I called a number and got a busy signal. But I thought better time to talk about the busy signal when I was calling the golf that I wanted to mention. That we will have the golf tournament. It is the one thing that we do throughout during the year that raises money for the foundation directly and helps kind of fund all the programs that we do throughout the year. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do the programs that we do the way they're set up, but there are some things that we need some money for. It's buying items for the kids for my first game, or buying the jerseys and the memorabilia stuff that we raffle off. So that's where the money's coming from. Appreciate everybody who supported it before, but we'll have tacos, we will have bourbon, and we will be golfing on Monday, August 18th.
It's exciting. I mean, I'm excited for it to be on a Monday. A couple of golf tournaments I've been to that we've done on Mondays, I do like them being on Mondays, truthfully.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the ones that I've gone and played in on a Monday. You've had yourself a good time at some of the golf tournaments.
Well, to be fair, I think it was Ken's fault the second year, I guess.
Generally, it's Ken's fault.
Yeah, I'm just going to blame it on Ken.
Actually, that's probably Maddie's fault. Is that Maddie?
That was the year Maddie couldn't make it. Okay. I think, am I getting my years mixed up? Was it the first year that Kent wasn't there? Because
he had COVID.
Yes, because he had COVID. The second year,
HIPAA, whatever.
He
put it on Twitter.
Right. I'll HIPAA violate Kent all day. I don't care. He can sue me. I don't. The second
year, the quote for this show is "I'll HIPAA violate Ken all day." Joel. Quote.
Yeah, Joel, clip that. I cannot remember this. Was the second year the one that? Have we done it 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the second one was the year that was Ken's fault because Kent hadn't done the golf tournament in prior years.
The second year, I think, is when we had like the rain delays and everybody huddled under the tents at different times.
And that's what got me, is I had to huddle up underneath a holiday tent, and that's what snuck up on me.
The one I saw you was when you were on like the long drive hole with Susie and PXG and Alex and everybody. And it was like, you're the seltzer guy. You check a seltzer with me, and you can't say no to people.
No. That is actually cannot. I physically cannot. And I always keep I do always keep this by the desk too. The Ben Holiday bottled and bond bourbon as well, because we love our friends, and with the glass obviously as well. Always keep it real close by in case, Really, it's for toast game.
Yeah,
but I just never moved it. This is our barrel selection. Show people. Mm-hmm. Let's see if my camera. Yeah, look at that. Look at that label.
Beautiful.
Gosh, I love Holiday.
I got like one case of those left.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How about
that's it? 190 bottles.
And you have the barrel, right?
Yeah, it's in the garage. We're gonna put that in the office. We're gonna put it somewhere cool.
Yeah, we'll
heavy.
Yeah, they don't make those things. They don't make those things as light.
Yeah, I picked it up it was actually during the draft, and then I went straight to Carter's baseball game. I had that barrel sitting in the back at Johnson County 3-2 in the parking lot. It's like, I hope nobody comes and grabs this thing.
Oh, imagine just seeing people try to drag it out of your truck and be like, hey, hang on a second. You can't. Yeah. That's not a one-man job.
It's not yours. It's pretty rude.
All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we've got some more Chiefs questions coming up, and Maddie Lane wants us to know about Oklahoma drill, so we'll talk about that coming up next.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Folks, it's playoff time, and if you're still just watching games, then you're missing out. With Pick 6 from DraftKings, you can turn your hoops knowledge into real cash. Just make your picks, track your score, and if you hit all 6, you're looking at bigger payouts than Prize Picks flex plays. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25 times your cash. And if you beat your competition, you could be looking at a 500 times bag in your pocket. And right now, new customers can get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry. Here's what you got to do. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Your feet kicking really got me, Tucker, for anybody who's got a chance to experience that video and see it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I do enjoy doing those DraftKings Pick 6 ad reads. They give me a chance to creatively go across my room and try to think of different angles and things I can do, because I just got a lot of real estate back there, right? There's all kinds of real estate that I can take advantage of, and I try to do my best with those there. And also, you're listening to an ad, might as well be entertained while you're listening to it. That's my thought process there.
I love it. Let's get to some more questions.
Let's do it. There's a conversation I think is interesting going on in the Discord in the 21 questions. Casey from KC asked, are all NFL teams assigned an international market? The Chiefs or Germany? And if so, does that mean the international games are home game for the NFL team if they play in that assigned market? Nick Johnson chimed in, and none of the Brazil teams actually are playing in Brazil this year, which is very interesting enough. But you don't just get one market. I think the teams can apply for markets, be given markets. Chiefs got Switzerland recently and Spain as their global markets as well. So they are.
Yeah, and they have Germany.
They have Germany as well. Yes. Yeah. KC from KC is right. They do have Germany. I believe they have Austria as well. It might be another part of it.
I believe
Mexico. Yeah, they do have.
Yeah, I don't know the approval process or how many that every team gets one or that. I know you have to be assigned and you have to be approved that you get certain markets. That way, it's not just a free for all. I know, like when St. Louis, when the Rams left the NFL, there were rules that the Bears, the Packers, the Chiefs, all those teams that were geographically in that area couldn't just flock. The Colts couldn't flock to St. Louis to try to capture that market, whether it's corporate sponsors of businesses that are based there or whatever the reason. The NFL, I don't know the behind the scenes of that process, but it was a big deal when you get those markets, because then you can start doing branding and partnerships within that market. The Chiefs have done a really good job branding in those places and coming up with businesses that are based in Germany that they can kind of market and get the trademark rights to and be able to kind of grow the Chiefs brand there, which makes sense. As good as they are, would make sense for team is not very good to try and go do those things right now. There won't be the same kind of interest.
Right. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that a team will play a game in that place, right? That's not saying that the Chiefs are going to go play in Switzerland. They're not going to go play in Geneva, right? We'll see. Maybe eventually they will. Those never say never.
Yeah.
But as of now, that doesn't mean they play in there. But yes, there's a lot of different stuff that go in there. Wanya's lone fan asks, did you forget that Rashad Fenton was a Chief in 2022?
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
The Rashad Fenton was a Chief in 2022. No,
I
like.
didn't think so either. I was a big Rashad Fenton guy. They traded for a 6th-round pick to Atlanta, right? Is that what they ended up doing? No, I thought Rashad Fenton was fine in Kansas City. 1 year.
It's tough for me because I knew he was one of the players I talked to a little bit at least. I just remember I got him celebrating with the trophy after the Super Bowl in Miami. And they handed him, I was getting cell phone footage, and I panned right when somebody handed him the trophy, and I got this beautiful shot with confetti falling down, and got it. And right then I was like, dude, what's your number? Let me text you this because you're probably gonna want this video. This actually looks really, really cool. So I'll always remember that. And I saw him at the gas station once after that. It's a nice guy. Was
he a back? No, that wouldn't have been back to back then. I don't think he was a back to. He was traded that season that they went back to back.
All the years I'll get all the years mixed up.
Dude.
But I knew he got traded not the year after or 2 years after the Super Bowl. So Jackie Moon. Yes, it is. We're back on YouTube, baby.
Yes, Jackie is a big
release right now.
Jackie is a big 21 Questions on YouTube guy. He lets me know in the comment section of that football show. But look, just subscribe to KCSN.com and you can get those videos to your inbox. You can watch them there too. Casey from Casey wants to know, which 2 free agents would you like the Chiefs to realistically acquire? Excuse me. I assume he's talking 2026 free agents, not the free agents that are out right now. Because
I got no idea.
The free agents out right now are no good. There's a reason they're probably still free agents. Yeah. But this free agent class, BJ, I got to pull it up right here, is a little bit sexier than what last year's free agent is. Let me read you some of the top names.
These guys, read me the names of the guys everybody's going to get excited about that there's no chance they actually.
Yeah, there's probably no chance.
But go ahead. Let's get all excited.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to hit free agency.
It says Trey Smith, but we'll skip past that one.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna. I'm sure he'll be a UFA and get to choose where he wants. And
right, Terry McLaurin, that could be an interesting one. Trey Hendrickson, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Colton Miller.
Mike Evans will never leave Tampa Bay. We learned this last year.
Yeah, it's true. Khalil Mack, Deebo Samuel, Braden Smith. That could
Deebo. He'll sign an extension with Washington. They didn't
Maybe.
just trade for him.
What if he hates it?
Not give him an extension. Doesn't have a choice. Franchise.
Travis Kelce. Yeah. Have you seen the recent pictures of Travis Kelce, by the way?
Yes.
He's lost some weight. Leave it at that.
Stop taking pictures of players when they're not on a football field.
That's a great point.
Weird. I got in trouble with this last offseason because I went off on Chiefs fans for sharing photos that were obviously not approved of Patrick Mahomes' house. And I got called all kinds of things. I'm like, I don't think they would have liked this. And it turned out they didn't like it. And then the house got broken into. Probably not because of those pictures. Not saying those things are related, but give these people some privacy when they're out. Be respectful if you want to take a photo. They understand it's part of the deal of being famous, but also give them a chance to have normal lives when they go out in public.
Zach Allen, free agent next year.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be a free agent.
Cortland Sutton, Joel Bitonio. I mean, look, Darius Slay, Hassan Reddick, Mark Andrews. Hey, Travis Kelce, if he wants to leave, Mark Andrews.
Do you think how many players of the 12 names that you just called or whatever, how many do you think will actually be
how many will hit the free market is what you're saying?
Yeah, how many of them are actually the first day of free agency going to get to choose where they go?
I think that the Commanders will have to choose between Terry McLaurin or Deebo.
Unless he's flipped towards the end of the season for a 6th-round pick.
Yeah,
that's what happens with those guys.
I think Trey Hendrickson will.
They don't trade him.
Yeah. But I find that so hard. If everyone knows that the dude wants out, who's going to trade for him? I guess to get a leg up over any of the other teams that want to try to sign him, but
the team that wouldn't get him if he had his right to choose.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Those are not going to get him.
I think we might run into the same situation. I think you do bring up a good point. We might run into the same situation that we ran into this year, where all these guys just re-signed to the same teams. That's what happened in free agency.
These are valuable assets that teams aren't good at what they do if they just let them walk without getting something in return for them. whether it's
Seamus.
trading. Yeah, you can get comp picks and people bring that up, but like there's so much more to the formula. Then you can't sign anybody, and it's the year after. And so, like, sure, it's a thing for certain the Turk Whartons of the world. Like, those are where the comp picks really make sense. It's not TJ Watt hitting free agency, and you're like, it's okay, we'll get a comp pick.
yeah, that's fair. I see that Jackie Moon.
Even a Terry McLaurin, I guess he's a bad.
Any running backs here? I'll pull up the running backs here. I don't think you're going to be too stoked on them. Terry and Zach Allen is who Seamus thinks will hit the market. I think two of them. I think they'll be
a third down back. They get somebody. I mean, I guess they might have one already with Richard, but like, if one of your 3 or 4 could be a veteran, but nobody that you count on any more than like Samaje Perine was.
Yeah, I don't really like this list. Jalen Warren, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Cordell Patterson, Elijah Mitchell, Breece Hall. Yeah, Kareem Hunt.
Wichita native.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd say Breece Hall.
Yeah,
you got a flyer on him.
I wouldn't mind Breece Hall. Yeah, Iowa State kid, by the way.
From Wichita.
Do you think he went to the same school Nick Springer did? Let's look.
I don't know. Did he go to Heights?
I don't know which one. Which one did Avery Johnson go to?
Mays.
That's which one.
I think
Nick went to that one. Hang on, let me look.
There's Mays. There's Derby. I always know Wichita Heights because they were good at baseball when I was younger. That's where Mike Pelfrey went. He was the dude.
Catholic. Breece Hall's from Omaha. Wichita Northwest. Okay. Yeah, so what? How? It's the AI over. It was the AI overview. That's. I was told that that AI is always right, but I don't think so.
AI told you that.
Wichita North. Yeah, AI told me that it's always right. Pacheco is a free agent as well. That is true, Jackie. I didn't get there yet on the list. Oh. Interesting question here from Stanley Mooney. Your thoughts on having all 3 preseason games under the lights? I am assuming nationally televised with those start times. I see it as a plus, giving you a little more hype to your noon than just your noon games. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I generally thought all the preseason games had been under the lights in the past. I'm kind of bummed the first 2 are on the road, so the third preseason game that most starters won't play is, I think, the only home game, I believe.
Yep.
But yeah, it makes it easier to plan around and you have kids. So I'm okay with the night games. Getting the regular season, I'd rather have more noon games, to be honest, on the Sunday afternoon, but it's price of success.
I was surprised
when the schedule came out. It's not surprising why everybody hates us. It's only going to get worse. They keep putting us on national TV, having them fly around the country the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, the world.
I was surprised I had 4 noon games. I don't know about you. I thought that was high. Verderam and I talked about it before the schedule came out because we did that podcast that Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And he said 2 and I said 1 noon game. I think they had 1 last year and it was the Panthers game. They didn't have any of them at home.
A Sunday noon game? They had a Saturday one.
Yeah, straight up Sunday noon game.
Yeah, I just feel bad. I put it out on social and I don't like engage and go back and forth anymore. It's kind of like a random this crossed my mind thought. I feel bad. Like I understand the branding. I understand the NFL wants to take over and it's just Billy. It's the largest entity in the world. It doesn't need to invade these holidays in the way that it is. But I understand that they're all in a growth mindset. They're all trying to grow the brand. I feel bad for the support staff, players, the coaches, like people know what they signed up for. The support staff who work at the stadium, they didn't sign up for a lot of that stuff. And even like the Thanksgiving, the beat writers.
Yeah.
I mean, not to call them out personally, then talk to him about it. But like Nate Taylor just had a baby, like not going to be there for his first Thanksgiving, or they're going to be on the road. Like those kinds of things. When you really get into like the people who are affected making those decisions with holidays, that part sucks, especially the ones that are on the road. Because when you're traveling and you can make an experience out of it, be like, remember that time we did this? And like, that's cool. I'm at a point with like our kids at the ages that they are, like, I don't want that thing. I don't want our traditions and like the things that we do. And those are important to us. So in that aspect, I feel for the people that have to make those sacrifices that don't didn't know what they signed up for in that kind of way. That's all.
Are you excited for the 9 p.m. kickoff when they play the Seattle Seahawks week 2 of the preseason?
Yeah. Kids will be in bed. I can watch the entire game.
It's a good point.
Like,
That's a good point. Yeah.
Everything's around the kids right now. So I don't mind the super late, like the basketball games that start at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just when I'm getting settled, like what's on. No, right now I'm catching the very end of these NBA games. I'm really trying to enjoy the NBA and watch it and like get into this.
Right.
It's hard, but
I think it's so hard, especially because Kansas City doesn't have a team. I think if Kansas City had a team, it'd be easier to be in the NBA, but like I can.
Jackie just asked for 30 seconds of NBA playoff talk.
All right, we're about to hit the 36-minute mark. As soon as we hit the 36-minute mark, I'll start. Okay, I do think that Indiana is pretty good. I think Oklahoma City has a really good defense, and I think that they're going to win that ultimately because their defense is better than what Minnesota's can be. Thoughts?
I agree. They're fun to watch. All the fouling and complaining. I would hate to be a ref in the NBA, to be honest. They're so big, they're so athletic, and now with all the acting crap, like I watched like a 5-minute span of the game last night, and everybody's just complaining at the refs. And I get it, but that's my basketball take. Is that part super annoying? I do like watching Oklahoma City just because the Thunder, the effort on defense, just fun to watch.
Yeah.
Guys are that big and that athletic play like that. Is a whole lot of fun. But I was kind of rooting for Golden State at the time. So like watching Curry, just watching guys that I'll remember in 20 years. But I got to watch so and so. It's kind of like LeBron, like playing. Yeah, totally agree. LeBron made it okay to flop, Jackie. I agree. That part was super annoying. But I'm just in the moment. Like I just want to see moments that I'll remember in 20 years. Like that's why I'm watching now.
Yeah, I think it's fair. SGA's had a heck of a year. I think Anthony Edwards is a very fun player to watch. And the other series, I think you have two teams that maybe aren't as fun to watch as the Western Conference teams, but I think it's good basketball. Tyrese Halliburton, I think, gets just crapped on way too much. I think he's a good basketball player, and he just kind of looks funny when he does it right. His form's not necessarily picture perfect, but
the choking stuff, like that'll get me into this. Like, I need a reason to watch. And that's why I grew up in Kansas City, so I wasn't an NBA guy, but I was a Kobe fan. Like Kobe was my all-time favorite athlete. Outside of Tony Gwynn, was my favorite athlete. Like Kobe was next because he didn't like the people he was playing against. He had that chip on his shoulder, and he's like, I miss that part of it. And that's why I liked more. It was more enjoyable watching basketball and baseball, all sports, when the teams hated each other. I watched a documentary on like the Red Sox Yankees. Like that was right when I was in college playing. Like I lived that stuff because they genuinely did not like each other. It's more entertaining to watch when they don't. You want to be respectful and teach the kids to do the things the right way. But like at the end of the day, like I enjoy it watching more when they really don't like each other when they're playing against each other.
Verder and I have talked about this too. There's no real rivalries in any other sport besides football right now. Like you could say that the Chiefs and the Bengals have a genuine rivalry, right? Like those two fan bases do not like each other. Well, even the players didn't really even like each other during like the real peak of it when they're playing in the.
That's awesome. Like I don't dislike Jamar Chase because he's making comments about the Chiefs. I love the fact that he's making me not like him, which makes the rivalry even more fun, which makes me like him. Like, yeah. Be honest.
Yeah. No, and look, baseball, the Yankees Red Sox isn't what it used to be. I mean, it'll always be a very high level rivalry, but it's not
Ravens,
what it used
Steelers.
to be. Yeah. I mean, look, you got
Steve Smith, James Harrison, Vontaze Burfict, and when he was out there running around, there were some people that didn't like each other.
Yeah, those guys. Vontaze Burfict actually does streaming now. He plays video games. He's like a Twitch streamer, and he's like pretty good at college football. Like he's like highly ranked in terms of college football 25. I remember watching him one time. I was like, wow, it's great. And I'm not shocked that like a professional football player is good at, calling the right plays against the right defense or like anything like that. But there's still a little bit of skill there involved. All right, a couple more questions here before we get out of here. Maddie _KCSN's revenge tour. I don't know if he's revenging. Wants to know what other sports athletes would perform the best in an NFL style combine. Ooh, that's interesting. What
other specific athletes or?
I think he's saying like He's saying what other sports athletes would perform the best in an NFL style combine. And look, I mean, I think all the sports have other combines, right? Like the basketball, they just had their combine.
Baseball has all kinds of showcases.
Right. I guess I don't know if the NHL has a combine or not. I guess that's a good question.
I would guess they have a draft. They have some sort of a combine.
Right.
Lacrosse.
I've never gotten into the professional lacrosse league that they have. Never gotten into it.
Volleyball. I don't know.
I haven't gotten into that either. Maddie's asking the hard-hitting questions there. He also says, what NFL players would you bet on in the new Oklahoma drill sport with no pads?
Anthony Sherman.
That's a good one.
Alan Bailey.
Aaron Donald.
Joe Mays.
Just massive units.
Just 0 Fs downhill.
Vontaze Burfict actually might be one of those guys.
Jolon Dunbar, the old Rams Mike, just the old 2 down like thumper. Vontaze Burfict.
Yeah.
I saw a post on Instagram. I don't know if it was real. That was like some sort of sporting event or like some sort of like athletic thing where they're encouraging PED use. They're like, no, everyone's juicing. Everybody's doing it. I don't know what it is, but it was like, just see how far science can take athletes. Like everyone's going to watch. And in 10 years, there's going to be awful stories about how this all played out. But
it is an interesting concept. I do think it is like, how far can we and that's kind of what the Olympics have always kind of been about.
We saw that in the 80s. We saw Bryant Bosworth. We saw Canseco, McGuire, like, gonna give Mark McGuire a metal bat and see if he can hit 700 feet.
Do you see? I saw something that Jose Canseco is challenging Aaron Judge because to $2,500,000. I want to say that he can hit a baseball further than him still.
$2,500,000.
$250,000. Am I okay? Am I having a stroke? $250,000 because I was trying to think of all the specifics. Whatever. Jose Canseco still thinks that he can hit a ball farther than Aaron Judge. I remember when I was in high school, I read his book.
Yeah, Juiced. I have it up.
Juiced, yeah. Turns out that like half of it's like lies or something like that. It would have come out, but like it's a good story.
He just started naming a bunch of people. It was like, dude, you were a scientist. Like he was a chemist. The interesting part is that like, for as dumb as a lot of things that he says is, like, you get really into it. And it was when I was playing in college, and it wasn't a thing that people didn't like. People were very open and honest about it during that time.
Oh yeah.
So it was very interesting as somebody who knew some of it just from being around the sport and just around athletes at that time. How like into it he got, and like the chemistry and how it all worked. It was a fascinating book to read. But anybody thinks that everybody there should be asterisks. Like all the pitchers were juicing. Everybody was juicing. Back then. You had to, or you got passed up by somebody else who was.
Right. You couldn't take that opportunity. You couldn't take that risk. Couple last two here. Casey from Casey wants to know, either of you been to Arthur Bryant's, and what do you like there? I've been to Arthur Bryant's. It's been a minute since I've been to Arthur Bryant's though. I don't know how it is currently, but I personally like their sauce. It's more of a vinegary sauce. Mm-hmm. I know that can be a major turnoff for some people.
That's not my thing.
I know that is not your thing, and I think that you need to be prepared for that. If you haven't been to Arthur Bryant's, you need to be prepared. That's the type of sauce you're getting into going in there. They got good brisket, from what I remember. I think they got good brisket there at Arthur Bryant's, but you have to go to the OG one. It's just like you got to go for the history. You got to go and see all the pictures on the wall. I remember seeing a picture of Obama up there too. So it's like, oh yeah.
Is the original one the one down by like the museum?
Yeah, it's like near 18th
Jazz District. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's the one. That's the only one I've been to. I know there's the one up by Legends. I always get the brisket, and normally when I get it, I don't get a lot of sauce. It doesn't need it. Like the meat's really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the sauce. So, and then I'm not a huge fan of those fries. either, just personally. But I've gone there and it's always good. I don't dislike it. I'm just, if you're going to give me a choice, I'm going to choose one of the, molasses-based places first. Joe's, Jack Stack, Q39. Hayward's, for those who remember Hayward's, it moved. It was in what's now Q39 right off Antioch. It used to be called Hayward's, and then Hayward's moved over by Olathe, like in some really awkward location. But I went to Hayward's a lot when I was younger. It was kind of like the lower, not as popular one, I guess, that I went to. Because now there's Meat Mitch and Chef Jay and what's the other one that we went to over? I met Kevin and Ryan over there. Used to be Pizza Shuttle. Harp barbecue off 135th and Quivira is very good. So lots of good barbecue. We're very, very spoiled here.
Slaps is a good one too. I think that one's in KCK.
That one, like, people are like very like they will defend slap. They will pound the table for slaps. I've seen that with some people.
Oh yeah, people are very passionate about their place that they do love. And look, I've been to Chef Jay a lot. I've not had a bad time. One time I went to Chef Jay. That's one I'll probably go to bad too. Probably every time I go as well. I always love Joe's though too. I got a bottle. I do love Gates sauce though. Gates' sauce is so good. I've got a bottle of that up there. I got a bottle of Jack Stack sauce up in the fridge. I gotta always be prepared with those sauces.
We always have Joe's and Jack Stack sauce at the house. That's what I marinate all our chicken in when we make barbecue chicken.
Hey, stuff. I'll probably get out on the grill here.
What do you got? Oh, you got a big. I was gonna say, what do you got planned for the weekend? But you're road tripping.
Yeah, it's a little bit further than I thought it was. Truthfully, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I agreed to it, I didn't spend almost like 2 hours. I thought it was a little bit closer than that. But yeah, that's a mistake on my part. But nevertheless,
I'm on my own for a few days. So family just left. So
huge. Last question here. I'll get you from Casey. Who at KCSN will be attending OTAs?
Herbie Teope. Herbie Teope will be up there every day. We talked about Herbie joining us. He's credentialed, so he'll be up there asking coach questions and covering it. So make sure you follow us at kcsn.com. kcsn.com is our Substack newsletter. So when you get there, it'll ask for your email address. You get all Herbie's stuff. Doggone it, Herbie. So he'll be up there. Be up there at camp every day. Gotta love Herb. We got more stuff, but we'll announce that as we get close. We got a couple months. No reason to announce everything super early, but the golf tournament will be Monday, August 18th at the location that we will announce next week.
Yes. So get that in your calendar.
I'm very excited about the golf tournament. This will be good.
Get that in your calendar. It will be fun. It's always a great time to have the golf tournament. I do enjoy it. Here's the dates for the OTAs. By the way, if you don't know, May 27th to 29th, June 2nd to 4th, June 10th to 13th. The mandatory minicamp is June 17th to 19th. Training camp dates have not yet been announced. So we will get you guys will know that. If you listen to KCSN, we will tell you those when they get announced. So those are the dates you need to know. As BJ mentioned, go to kcsn.com and you will be absolutely locked in. You will know more than your friends will know if you go to kcsn.com and put in your email there. And you will be the Adam Schefter of your friends.
Be the Adam Schefter of your friends.
There it is. Jackie Moon, appreciate the love. Thanks, guys. No channel kills the offseason like KCSN. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this live edition of 21 Questions. Appreciate you guys listening to it after the fact as well. So that's going to do it. For BJ Kissel, I'm Tucker Franklin. Thank you guys so much. We will talk to you guys another time. We'll see ya.